This video we are going to learn about the CSS basics. So let's get started. So let me share my screen now, and we are going to start with VS Code again. So I am in a folder CSS basic. I am starting my VS Code. So here is my VS Code empty folder, just nothing there. Here as usual we will start with the index.html. So let me tell you what is CSS. CSS stands for cascading style sheets, and CSS is also considered a bit of right brain, and generally developers struggle with it because it is a more artistic, means you can create beautiful websites with it. The earlier things which we have done with HTML was very ugly, so CSS is used to beautify things. So there are three ways to use CSS. We'll learn the three ways first: inline CSS, internal CSS, and external CSS. So let us do that. And first, just like the previous part, index.html, see, I will do the tab and it will be done. And then here CSS Basics I will put, and the internal CSS means directly in the HTML element we will use. So h1 is there, and suppose hello world is there. Okay, so anyways this will look very ugly. Let me open with live server. As usual it will look very ugly. Okay, so hello world is there. So we will style it through CSS directly here. Okay, so what we are going to do, the inline CSS here, style equal to anything we can give me. Style equal to maybe, yeah, text align center. Why not text align center? Text align center, and color blue. So the problem is with this is that there we cannot write a lot of CSS here, and it's look very ugly also in the code I am telling. So I will do this two things. So I suppose I have 10 CSS properties, then what will happen? See, it will be done. The center it is done, and the color is been changed. So this is inline CSS. Then I will see the internal CSS. So internal CSS is means means here also we will create the CSS in the HTML file also, but inside the style tag. Okay, so let me have a paragraph, and let me have lorem 20 as usual, and then I will press tab, and this lorem text will be there. So inside this head tag I will have a style like this, and inside this I will write the CSS. So this is much better than the way we have done here. Inline CSS, internal CSS is much better. So style I will run, and p color is brown. Yeah, color is brown. So let me save it. See, the color become brown. Okay, p tag color become brown. So this is internal CSS. But the most preferred way is not this. The most preferred way is external CSS. We'll have an external style sheet which will be linked to our HTML, and that is how we are going to use it. Okay, so let us have that external style sheet. Styles.css I will write, and here we'll write all the CSS, but we have to link it with the HTML. So how we will link it with the HTML? We will link it with the HTML with a link tag, link, and there is something called CSS link style sheet, and this styles.css like this with the link tag. We'll link it. Let me link it. After that I will have a h3 which will say CSS Basics course. Save it, and then I will have the CSS like h3, background color is aquamarine, and color is white, and padding is 1%. Me save it. So these are all CSS properties. Background color means the background color of the text or anything. Color means the text color or something, and padding means the padding. We'll learn more about the padding later on, because in the box we are going to learn box model. So if I do this and if I come back, see, CSS Basics, the background is aquamarine, color is white, by default it will be black, and padding also is there 1%. So it will contain this. Without this padding, see, it will be like this, and with this padding it will be like that. Okay, so all around, it means padding all around. So what we have, I want to show something which is, yeah, this thing, CSS selectors. So here we select, it means it can be p tag, h1 tag, whatever tag we want to select. Later we'll see that we can use classes and IDs also. Then this is the property and this is the value. So property may be font size, and this is known as declaration, and this is the value, and it goes in the curly bracket, and each of the properties, they come like this, means font size and all this. After that there is a semicolon is there. After every property, semicolon is required. Okay, and it is not good to write it like this. It is much better, means it is you shouldn't write it in one line. It is much better to write it like this. Each of them come in the separate line, so this is preferred. Okay, so this is how it is. CSS is there, CSS properties are there. We're targeting the h3 and then this background color, and two more are there. So now we'll see the colors in CSS. Colors are very important in a website. So colors in CSS, there are actually 4 ways to represent colors in CSS. So we'll see all of them. So the first one, let us see, which is the hexadecimal way, which is a very popular way. So this way which you are seeing, it is a color name, directly the color name we are giving. So modern browser supports at around 140 colors. So this aquamarine, so this kind of, a lot of color names are there, aquamarine and all. So this is one of the way, but the most popular way is the hexadecimal one. We give a hexadecimal. So hexadecimal starts from hash 0000, which is for black. So 6 times the number is there, and then it goes to its white, which is hash FFFF 6 times Fs. So let us see that. So see, this is the HTML color picker. You can get color picker from anywhere. So as you can see, it is starting from hash 000 and it is going towards send. So means from black it is going towards white, and all the colors falls in between that. All the colors fall in between that, and what is there. So you can select like this. See, so this type of color pickers are very good to pick. So you can pick it and then you can choose it. And the hexadecimal number, you don't have to learn the hexadecimal. Nobody can learn. There are millions of numbers are there. So this is the hexadecimal number. Okay, and then hexadecimal is there. Then now we will look into the RGB. So this color names, this is also there. So this all sites I will give you. So these color names, as I've told, there are 140 colors, and all the colors names are in this side. All the color names, whatever you, slate blue, dark slate blue. This is a very good color chart use. I use it. Very, very nice color. Cyan, and all these things are there. Very good colors are there. Okay, so these two are there, and then the other thing is, so we have seen 2 things, RG, this hexadecimal and color name. Now there are another thing which is known as RGB, red, green and blue. Okay, so red, green and blue, actually we can see this red, green and blue here also. See this RGB stands for red, green and blue. So how much red is there, how much green is there, how much blue in there in any color. Actually every color in the world can be formed through 3 colors, red, green and blue. So it gives how much redness is there, how much green is there, how much blue is there. So this is known as red, green and blue. So this is also popular form, and the last form which is also there, but it is not that much popular. The most popular is hexadecimal, followed by the RGB and followed by the color name. Okay, and HSL is also there. HSL stands for, let us go, not this, HSL stands for hue, saturation and lightness. So this is again a very good article. Hue, saturation and lightness. Hue is the degree of color from the wheel 0 to 360. 0 is red, 120 is green, 240 is blue. Saturation is the percentage value. 0 means shades of gray, 100% means full color. Okay, and lightness means 0 is black, 100% is white. Okay, so this is how it is given. So if I increase this, this is 100%. This is, see, so this is again a good calculator to do that. HSL is also there. So these are the 4 color systems. Okay, so let me go back, and now we'll use these color systems in our project. Okay, so let me come here. Body, yeah, we can target the whole body, and whole body is a good way to target because it is a good way to give the background color for the whole body actually. So background color will give hash f4 okay, hash f4 and h1 is let me do one thing. Let me comment this out and comment this out also, because we will directly use the style sheets color now. Okay, so h1 is color brown. h3 let us take a HSL. It will be good means to take a HSL of maybe I'll take from here something like aquamarine, like this. So you people can refer to it, that HSL color is also there. HSL I have choose for h3, and the paragraph I will choose the color as RGB 123 comma 49 comma 49. Okay, like this I will choose. Let me save it now, and if I come, yeah, those are being chosen. Okay, so the different ways to use color. So now we'll see the fonts in CSS. Fonts is very important for our site. So there are different fonts which are available in the browser. So, and the most important property here is known as font family. So font family will give, and Arial, comma. Generally we give 2-3 fonts, so there is a fallback font. So first one is always chosen. Okay, Helvetica, comma serif. Okay, is okay. So let me save it, and you see the new fonts here. Whole body I'm changing the font actually. So there are very good fonts. There are some very good Google fonts also. You can choose see that Google fonts also are there, but there are some fonts which are in a web safe font. So web safe font which will always be there in the browser. So let me tell about some of them. So these are the web safe font, Verdana, Arial, and all these are the web safe fonts. Okay, Times New Roman, Sans Serif, and all these things. Okay, so this is there. Now what we are going to do now, we are going to do some 2 more properties of font. One is font size. Font size is 20px. So 20px is one of the measurement unit. So 20px means pixel. Okay, and then font weight is let us take it bold, and so see, font size has increased and the boldness have also increased. So there is another thing known as line height, 1.6 em. Em is another unit of measurement. See, the line height have increased, so this means the height between the lines, line height. Okay, so now we as we've seen px and em. What are these px and em? So px is the pixel, px is pixel, and it is simple, like 1 pixel, 2 pixel, 3 pixel, it will increase by them. Em is the font size according to the parent element. So for p, there is no parent element will be the body, but sometimes what happens, it is wrapped inside a div, p is wrapped inside a div or h1 or something, so the parent element will be that. So em is the, if the parent element suppose is h1 have certain size, h1 have suppose 16 px by default, suppose it is 16 px. So what will happen, the paragraph, general paragraph doesn't contain within the h1. Suppose a div is there in which we have given it as a 16 px. Okay, suppose just suppose this div is wrapping it, this div is wrapping this p, and it is 16 px, and this size I have given font size as 16 px for this div, and the div have contain many other things. So the so for all the children, 1 em will be equal to 16 px. This is known as em according to its parent element. And what is this 1 rem? Okay, 1 rem, there is something known as rem also. So rem means it doesn't matter, means whether it is a parent element, div, and all this, it is nested or not, it doesn't matter. It will always check it with the root, which is the body. So by default body have certain font size, like 16 px is the by default font size, so it will be according to that. 1 rem means 16 px, 2 rem means 32 px, so something like that. Okay, so that is what rems are. So now we will see the classes and IDs. As we have told, means it is very difficult to give styles like this h1 h3, and this is not a good practice also. What happens is that this become global styles, and this messes up with the CSS a lot. So there are two ways to target HTML element. One is the classes and another is the ID. So the only difference between the classes and the IDs are that classes can be used multiple times at different places, but IDs can be used only once. So let us use the classes. Okay, so I'll wrap everything with the div node. Again, this is a shortcut in VS Code, div dot, and I have pressed tab, so everything I will put here. Okay, so box 1 here, and similarly let me copy it again, box 1. See, again box 1 is there, but let me remove this h3 from here, and hello CSS. Let me make the lorem a bit less. So this is how the classes are used actually, means this common thing is used. But suppose I want to use some style for this, so I will give the id here, id equal to second p, id equal to second p. I'll do save it, and box 1. So directly again, and the classes we target by dot we target. Okay, so background color is light yellow, and just a background color I'm changing. And ID is to target by hash second p color is red, save it. Now see it here, see the whole that background has been given of yellow and in both of them, but the only the second p the color is been changed. This is how classes and id work. So now we will look into one other very important thing in CSS is known as the box model. Box model is very important and it's a very important interview question also. HTML elements, they uses the box model, which is the space around the element. So there is content, padding, border and margin. So we will understand it with a pic. So see, this is the content, whatever h1 p whatever is the content is there. Then after that padding comes, after that border comes, and after that margin comes. So this should be kept in your mind. This is very important topic, this box model. So we will also learn about this box model. So one more thing is that margin is always between the surrounding HTML. Suppose two h1 and p are there, margin is always between them, and the padding is around the content of the element. This is one important thing to understand in this. So let us do that. Let me come back and we'll understand box model with something. Okay, so just id with box model is there. So save it and let me take this. Box model, background color is light gray, width is 300 px, border is 15 px, solid green. So this is how we give border. So the size is 15 px. It is solid. There is something known as dashed also, and green is the color. Okay, so then the padding we have to give, padding is 50 px, 50 px, and margin is 20 px. Okay, so all these things I will save. And one thing is there, I don't want to see this box model here. Okay, let us see one thing. I want to see actually one thing. There is some features in Firefox Developer Edition. Let me see whether that is there till now. And let me open. Why to are open this like this. Okay, you can see this thing. Now we cannot see it like this. We have to right click and inspect. Yeah, okay, the box model is there. It's okay. See here, I am clicking over it and see the box model has been shown here. 300 into 36 is the content. After that padding is there, which is 50 all around. See this thing I am telling, 50 all around. Border is there, which is of 15 px, which we have given of 15 px solid green, and margin we have given 20 px. So you can see in the browser the box model is been shown in the browser. So this is the box model. Okay, so it's done. Box model is done. As I've told, it's very important. So now what we are going to do, we will target some specific thing also, like in box one there is the h3. So there might be hundreds of h3 in the CSS. So if I want to target this thing, I can target it like this also. Let me show, and we'll learn some more CSS properties also. Dot box one and then h3. I'll do h3 and then let me do the background color first. Okay, background color. Okay, what I will do, let us do one thing. actually there is only one h3, so dot box 1 h3. so I will do like this, background color, and these are the things which were there from earlier. Then there is font family, as you can know, but I will make it Tahoma. Another font it is there. Font weight is normal, so there you can give values also, but not all values. There is something known as 800, 600, you can check it out. So and then font style is italics. So font style is italics, bold, so it will make it italics. So let me save it. Let us go back here, let me close it. So see, it has become italics. Font style is italics. And so now let's see some more property. Text decoration is, there is none, but there can be underline also. Underline, text decoration is underline. Okay, so text decoration, see, there is some underline has been there. Okay, blue, in blue white color is, I'm not liking it actually. How about black? Yeah, black is much better. Okay, so text decoration is underline. And text transform is, again, we can do, see, everything is, we can change it to uppercase from here on, so everything is uppercase now. Okay, so now the next thing we're going to do is letter spacing. Let's give something 0.2 em. Let us give 0.2 em. Let me save it. See, the letter are in space. See, this letter, each of this letter are this is the letter spacing. C and S, B and A. So this is letter spacing, because there is something known as word spacing also. Word spacing, this is again 0.2 em. No, let me make it more, 0.8 em. So now see, the words are spaced. CSS Basics and Core. So these are all the things we can do from the CSS. A lot of things we can do. Actually, there are hundreds of properties we can do from the CSS. Now we will learn to style some of the things, and in this process we'll learn some more CSS. So the thing we are going to learn is first is to styling list. Lists are very important thing. So by default the lists are very ugly, which we give. So we'll learn to style them. So div dot categories will do, and let me have a h2 categories, and unordered list, have unordered list, and a list item. I will have an anchor tag here, and href, it is going to nowhere, and category 1, so 5 of them are there. Let me save it and see. Let me see how it is looking. So it is looking like this. So not good, means, and these underlines are not good. Nowhere people give this underline in list nowadays. So, and this also nobody gives, and this comes by default in an unordered list. So let us start to style them, means, and let me come here, dot categories, border, okay, let me do one thing. Let me see how it is looking like this, so that we can see both of them at once. Border 1px solid hash ccc. Yeah, hexadecimal we can give 3 also, means this will be another 3 ccc, it means this 6. Okay, this we are given. then padding is 10px. Save it. See, the padding have become, padding gives this breathing space. This is very good thing. Padding border radius is 15px. Yeah, so this sharp edges have gone and this slight edges have come. This is for border radius. Okay, so now category we will target the h2 dot categories h2, and text align is not left, text align is center. If I save it, it will move to the center. Okay, then dot categories unordered list, padding is 0, and list style, this is very important, list style we will give none, list style we will give none, padding is 0 and list style is none. So list style will give none, that asterisk will go. Okay, list style will give none, that asterisk will go. Then we also don't want is anchor tag. Anchor tags are important because we have to click somewhere, so the anchor tag also we don't want. So what we are going to do, this categories anchor tag text decoration is none. Text decoration means that underline and all that will not come. Text decoration is none. See, and we'll change the color also. By default this blue color is not good. Color is black. I will give color black. I will give, save it. Yeah, color black have come. And now I want to change the hover property. So hover color is red. Save it. See, the hover property, the color is red. So now let's target this align. Not categories, li. I will target not L1, it is li. Li I will target, and then I will make the some padding. Padding bottom is there, so padding we can give that bottom also. Padding bottom and 6px. See, everything will be having some padding. We don't want to give the padding and all the side. Okay, and there is something border is there, so we have to learn that. But border bottom also we can give, so only one side, border bottom, left, right, and all those things we can give. 1px dotted hash 333 will give, and see, this dotted line will be done. So this is the padding bottom. Okay, so now we are done with styling the list. Now we will learn about styling the forms. Forms are again very important things in CSS. So let me first write the CSS in a bit better way, HTML in a better way. Okay, having more space, breathing space. I will add some break rows because actually it is completing this whole of the height, so it will not be looking good. So I will again give the same thing, break 2-3 times, break row, one horizontal rule and one break row. Okay, now I will have this form dot my form. Okay, action I don't want. We are learning CSS, not JavaScript. Okay, and even in JavaScript we don't use action. So form is there, and then div dot form group is there, and here inside this form group is the font size. In this form group we will have generally the forms, everything has a label is there, and maybe this let's give the for also, for name name like this, input type text. So if you give for, we should give id also, actually id, so they're linked actually, id name, and we have to give name also, means name is another property, but in this case it is name only. Okay, so div is there, for form group it is there like this. So we'll have 2-3 more like this. The form group, this form group for it is email, and everything is email actually. So everything is email. Okay, so everything is email. And now let us have a message, and message will have a text area. So form group, and label is for message, but instead of this input we'll have a text area, and text area doesn't have a type, but here id we can have id because we have the for. So this will be message, and this will be message, and this will be message, but text area are always, they are always ending, so like this they are ending. Okay, so text area is there, save it, and let us have a button also, and input button will have type text which comes to the form, input. See, so many things are there. Input type is submit, class is button, and name, we have to give a name. So whatever name we give, it will be there, in the button. Okay, name equal to submit. So I have given this. Let us see how the form is looking, and okay, and now we will also do the styling. So let me copy this, let me come here, and let me make it a bit small. So this is how the form is looking, and it is looking actually very ugly. So okay, let me do one more thing. After this form, let me add 2-3 more break row so that I have some breathing space. Okay, so it is looking very bad, and let's just fix this thing. Dot my form, everything is fixed by giving some padding. The first thing which you should give is the padding, 20px. I will give. See, now the padding has been given here all around the form. So then after that I will target my form dot form group, my form group, and padding bottom is 15px. I'll give, and 15px padding bottom, all of the form group, this padding, this they are having now. Okay, and then the labels I will target my form label, I will target, and so by default, see the labels are, and the input boxes, they are together. See, all the labels and the input boxes, because they are inline element. By default they are inline element. So we can make it block level element with display block, and I will save it. So it will go in it separate lines. So this will happen like this. Okay, display block will give, and then after that my form, And there is something more which is known as means I want to target the input. I can directly target the input, but suppose there are more inputs on the HTML. Just like in our case, I want to target only the text input, and we have means like the email input also. But okay, one thing, actually we should make this also text type is, let me make it text. Maybe some other case you can take it email, but I want to make it text only. Okay, input, suppose there are many other inputs also are there type, but I want to target only the text. So type is text. So like this I can target. Okay, type is text. Okay, okay, comma, okay, comma, and now the other thing which I will target is dot my form and text area I will target. Okay, so these two I will target. With something is wrong here. Okay, no problem. I will check it out if something is wrong. Padding is, let me have some space here. Padding is, why it is showing like this. Padding is 8px. 8px is the padding, and width is 100%. Let me save it. Okay, something is wrong. Okay, I got it. What is wrong? It is type, not this type equal to text. It is. Okay, now let me save it. See, now everything will be 100%. Everything, text area and all these things will be 100%. So now with only this much CSS, it is looking so good, and it is done. Only the one thing which is remaining, I want to change the button also. Button by default it is very bland, so let us change that button. So for that I will do dot button margin is 0.2 m and 0, and padding is 0. Okay, top, down, bottom, all these things are there. 15px, you can check this out, 0 and 15px. So what it is, it comes like this, top, this is top, right, bottom and left. So you can give different padding. If you give one number, it will be for all, but you can separate it out also, and you can separate it out like this also, margin which I'm taking. So if it is two parameters, it is top, down, right, left. Okay, and this is the complete form. Okay, so like this, if I do these two things. Okay, button, am I targeting the button correctly? Yeah, button is correct. Then the thing is, okay, let us give some border. Border is none. So the border has gone, you can see. Okay, text align is center. Save it. Text align is center. Let me give the line height. Line height is 34px. 34px with 34px, it will be a bit bigger. See, it is bigger. And then the border radius, or not background, repeat. Border radius is 0.2 m, and font size is 1 rem, and color is white, and let's give the background something different. Background color Bollywood is a good color, so that we can see something. So see, this is good, brown and white. Okay, so now I will give the some hover also. So dot button hover, background is, let me change the background, which is hash E74B37, and cursor is pointer is very important, so that it points the cursor. By default, see, if I take a cursor anywhere, it will not do, but see, first the color is changed, and see the point at the hand have come. So this completes our styling for CSS forms also. Now we will start with alignment and floating. So alignment and floating, it's a bit old topic, means it was around for a long time in CSS, and because of this most people used to fear of CSS, but this is mostly replaced by CSS Grid and Flexbox in the previous 5 to 10 years, and because of that CSS has become very easy. But then also we have to learn the old topic also, because it is there till date, and a lot of old code also you will find with that. But generally my suggestion is not use the floating, especially don't use the floating. Generally it makes your code also a bit weird, means we'll see that also how it become weird. So because it behaves in a different way because of this alignment, but then also we have to see it, because although it's an old topic, it is still there. Okay, but it is completely replaceable with CSS Flexbox and Grid, which you will learn in this course also. Okay, so alignment and floating, we are here. We will use the same. Okay, div dot block, and here I will have a h2 is heading 1, and a paragraph tag of lorem 10, let me have it completely, and again lorem 10, same thing, heading 2, heading 3. So these 3 headings I am having, and let me save it. Okay, I have saved it, and now let me have some BRs here, because it is already at the end, so it will be not be shown good. Okay, so BR and BR, and let me have one HR here, horizontal rule. Okay, and yeah, this is done. Let me save it. Now if I go back, so I have this thing. So by default it will take the natural order. So natural order means because it is a div, and h1 and p are there, so it will take the natural order whatever it is there. So now what we are going to do, now we want the 3 block to be in a vertical fashion. Okay, and occupy 33% of the space. So we will do this by, there is a property known as float left property, which is to float an element to the left. So we'll do that. We'll do with that, and for that we have this block. This block is there, so I'll come here, then dot block float is left, width is 33.3%. Save it and see everything has been done. Okay, Now with the float, we always have to do one thing, means generally it messes up with the things which comes after that. So if you don't want it to mess up, means sometimes it mess up, sometimes it doesn't mess up, it is not means very stable. Yeah, so what we need to do after we float something, we have to use an empty div. That is a way to fix the issue, and that empty div, generally we give it a name known as clear fix. Okay, so let me come here and see this div block is ending here, and after this I will have to do a div dot fix. Okay, just like an empty div, I have to give, save it, and we have to give some styles also for this. So we have to give this dot clear fix, clear, there is a property known as clear, and I have to do both. So we have to clear the float. It will not change anything here, it will not change anything, but that natural flow, and actually what it is doing, float is removing the element from the natural flow is, but div means one after the other, so it is removing it from the natural flow. So we have to anything which comes after that, it will also be removed from the natural flow, so we have to fix it. So that's why this clear fix thing we do. Okay, so this is done. We can now we can do a 2-column layout also using float. Let's do a 2-column layout using float. Okay, so div hash main block. Okay, one more thing, if I give this 2-time underscore, so this is a special type of syntax. What is the best thing in that is that I can directly select it like this, and this is a special type of syntax. h2 heading p tag lorem 10. Okay, and similarly div hash side bar, and sidebar will only have this p tag, and which will be having this lorem 10. Okay, and then let us do that clear fix here and here. After this we will have a HR horizontal rule, save it. So by default it will be shown like this. Okay, so now what we are going to do, we are going to do the style, and for this hash main block and float, just like float left. We'll just see now float left, and width is of not of 100%, width will be of 70%. Okay, 70% width is there, and then hash, just like a sidebar we are creating, side bar float. There is something known as float right, so we can use that also, float right. So it will float it to the right as the name says, and the width is of 30%. Save it. See, now it is done. Here it is there 70%, and then 30% is there. Okay, so now what we are going to do, so it is okay, it seems okay, but it will break if I do one thing. Suppose we want some padding here. Okay, so we'll put some padding here, padding of 15 px I'll give, and let's have some border also, because we want to see something. Border 1 px solid hash ccc, same thing here also, and save it. See, it is not, it messes up things. It messes up things because everything by default in HTML CSS is a content box. So it means that any element which take the width plus border plus padding. So now it is not 70%, it is more than 70%. This is adding that thing. It is not just 70%, 70% plus 15px it is there. So how to fix it? So we will fix it by something known as border box. So this is all box model thing, border box, which will include the border and padding in the width only. Width means the 70% width, it will include in that. So this is very easy to fix. So we'll come here and box sizing, border box. Similarly, box sizing is border box. I'm given, and see, now it is fixed. So this is how it is done. So now float is done. Now we'll do alignment, and alignment is very much used today also. So it is a very important topic. So you can forget this float and this all alignment. This is not that much used, but then also you'll see in some of the old code it is there. But now we'll do the positioning, which is also known as alignment, which is very much important. And so let us do that. So there are 4 types: static, relative, absolute, and fixed. So we'll do all of them. So I am here, and div dot position box I'll do. So position box, just a div, and then I'll have a h1 is CSS, h2 is CSS course, and the div is there. Okay, so this is there. Now I'll come here, and what is the name? The name is position box. So let us give the styles for that. So position box I am giving width is 800px, height is 500px, border is 1px solid black. Save it. So see, it is like this position box. It is just like this. It is coming. So by default, every element is position static, means it will take the natural flow. But we can move this natural flow again and move anywhere we want. Okay, so that is why positioning is very important. Sometimes those some little CSS fix we do through positioning, which the designer gave us and which is not possible, and we can move every element. We can move. Okay, that is not right, but every element we can move. And sometimes it is required. Even with the Flexbox, sometimes it is not possible. Okay, so the thing is that now position static is by default, it is there. Now we'll look into the position relative. So we will move this maybe this h1 to a position absolute. So by position absolute, we can move one element top, left, right, bottom, anywhere we can move. Okay, so I'm coming here, and position box I'm taking position box h1 position absolute, top is 40px, like this. Top is 40px. Let me save it. So now you'll see where is CSS is gone. CSS was there, h1 was CSS. So if I come up, see the CSS have come here. So why it has come here? So position absolute, what it does, it takes the whole page as its parent. So h1 will be 40px from the top. The whole page is its parent, and h1 will be 40px from the top. Actually this is not a desirable thing, means we don't want from the whole page to, we want the it to be moved according to its parent element. What is the parent element here? Actual parent element is this div, so we want it to move according to that. So that's why what is there, position absolute is always 100% of time it is used something known as position relative. We make the parent as relative and then it works, means just like this, whatever is its parent, so we will make it so you'll always see both of them are used together, position relative. So nobody want to move with comparison to a page. Maybe sometime it will there position relative, but very less time position relative. Now see what it is, so it will move according to that. So 40 pixels, it is very difficult to see, so let us move in some different place for maybe 140 px, and left is 200 px. Now see it is moving. Similarly I can move the h2 also. h2 position absolute, top is 240 and left, and no top. Let's do the other one, bottom and right. Let's do these two, so then we can understand that these are also there. And see now it is moving according to that. So this is the combination of position absolute and position relative, and it is very very important. Okay, now we will learn about another thing which is known as position fix. This sometimes happens, suppose this button is there and I am scrolling it but it is going down. A lot of things is that you want people to subscribe to your mailing list or something, so I will put a button here which will move along with the page. So how to do that? We generally do that with something known as position fixed. So let us do that. After this we'll have a button fixed button, and class will be equal to button. Actually we already have some property, some CSS for this button, so I will use two CSS fixed button, two classes for the CSS. So fixed button, I will just going to give this fixed button now. So I will come here and then this not fixed button I will give, and position is fixed, top is 20px, and let's see. Now see, so this button fixed button is there, so it will always be there. So this is how it is done, fixed. Just this much is required. Okay, and you can fix it anywhere. Okay, so this is like this. Now we are done with alignment and floating, and this positioning, alignment, floating and positioning we are done. So now what we are going to do, we are going to learn a very important concept for images. Images, as I have told earlier, they can be done through CSS, and they have some very very cool and easy properties which the images looks very good on a website. Images are the most tricky thing in a website because the images comes in different sizes, and that's become a very big issue. But with CSS help, we can fix them. With HTML also we have seen that width and height we can give that, but that is not a good way. So if you want to use CSS with images with CSS, we have to give something known as a background image, but before that we need to have an image. So let me go here and let me have a images folder, and within file explorer, download I will go, cut, paste. Okay, so one thing to notice is that this image is a bit small. That is very important to notice, and this kind of images causes a lot of problem. Bigger images don't cause that much problem, the smaller images cause, but the rules are generally the same. Okay, so I will put that in the position box. Okay, so background image I have to give it in the URL. So in the URL you have to give, you can give the URL also. Images slash. Okay, it is coming. So let me save it. I go here, not here. Here I will go. See, the image is repeating itself, and this is not the thing which we want. Although it was a small image. Okay, it was a small image, but we don't want it to repeat itself. So what we are going to do, so this property comes in the picture, and this you can give for bigger images also, and you should generally give it for bigger images also whenever you are using it. Background repeat will give no repeat. Background repeat is no repeat. I am giving, saving it and go back. So the no repeat is there, but we don't want this also. We want it to take the complete thing. So how are you going to do that? So the other property is background size is cover. Okay, background size is cover, and see, it is covering everything. And this you can give for bigger images also. So images is that easy, and there are some other good property also, you can see them. So now we learn about the last topic in CSS. Okay, so that last topic is pseudo classes. We can have some pseudo classes also in CSS, which extends the target of the class. So we'll do that. So I am here, and horizontal rule and a break row, and then I will have a unordered list dot my list I will have, and then I will have a list item there is another shortcut is there into 8. So like this I can give, and I will give item 1. Okay, item 2, item 3, item 4, item 5, item 6, item 7, item 8 I will give. Okay, this is all I am giving. So all these items are there. So now what is there? Okay, so how it is been shown. It has been shown like this. So what are we are doing? Let me put an horizontal rule also. So now we are going to look into the pseudo thing. Okay, so pseudo, this my list is there. I'll come here and then my list, and in this my list I will make ally first child. So it is giving me, there are many other also, you can look into them. First child background is this, dot my list ally last child, and give background is let me save it. And if I come as it was, first child means the first child, the first ally of, and last child means the last one. So this is the thing. So See, this my list was in the UL. So UL's child means whatever inside it. The first item. First child means the first item, last child means the last item. Okay. So this is there, and we have another thing also, like my list li nth child. So nth child we can give anything here. Let's maybe give the 5 here. Okay. So and then this is very powerful. Nth child. Yellow green. I will give yellow green. Save it and see the fifth child has been done. Okay, like this. So now we will have this something known as dynamic list with the help of this only. So let us do that. I'll copy this actually. Okay, instead of my list, let me put dynamic list. Okay, dynamic list and copy this dynamic list and li. Again we will see the nth child property. As I told, it is very powerful, and nth child will give even. So we can give even also. Instead of the number we can give even also, and background will be pink blue is good. What is this? Pink. And as you might have guessed, there will be an odd. So it doesn't matter how big it is. So it can be on blue. Save it. So see what is happening. Alternate has been done. One is blue, one is pink, one is blue. And the thing is that it can means suppose I will have 2 more, which is 9 and the other is 10. So 2 more I have. Now if I go, so it will be even odd, so it will keep on continuing. So this is very powerful stuff. So this even odd. So with this we complete our CSS basics. We are going to learn CSS and Flexbox in this course. So with the invention of CSS and Flexbox, the CSS scene has become very good. Earlier in the earlier 90s and early 2000, it was very complicated because of the floats, and people used to be scared of CSS, especially the developers. So they used to go towards the libraries or frameworks like Bootstrap and all. So and Bootstrap and all causes more problem than they solves them. Means once the project is small it is okay, but once it has become very big, it's really difficult to manage the Bootstrap project. That's I can tell from my experiences with Bootstrap. So it's always good to learn the basic, and CSS and Flexbox, CSS Flexbox and CSS Grid have made CSS so easy. Now it is much better to make a layout with CSS Flexbox or Grid instead of going toward Bootstrap. So that is what we are going to learn today, and we are going to start with Flexbox. So let's get started. And this is what I have. I have just a basic layout, just HTML file with some title, a style sheet which is linked, a body and a div is there, which class of container, and it has got some other divs. So with the box 1, all of have box classes common, but this box 1, box 2, box 3, box 5, box 6, they are different, and 1 2 3 4 is there. Okay, and we have a linked style sheet. Let's go to the style sheet. Box sizing border box, so it is the default setup we are doing first. So border box we are giving, then the box color is white, font size we are giving some big font size, text line is there, center padding is also there, and each box, then we're targeting each box, these boxes so different color. Okay, so now we'll go back to the index.js and start our project with our live server. Right click, open with live server, and it will open with the live server, and it will be shown like this. Should I make it yeah, this is much better. It will show us like this. Okay, so because the div is a block level element, so it is showing like this. So if I tell again, so we mainly work here. See what is happening. Font size is 100 px, means font is very big. Okay, font is very big. that's why it is taking that much space. And padding also we have given, so it is the text align center, so it is moved to the center, but because it is div, so it is like this. Okay, so now we will look into the power of Flexbox. Okay, so Flexbox is generally applied on the container level or parent level. So this is the parent which contain all of this box 1, box 2, box 3 and all. So we'll come here and dot container background, just we have to give this display flex, and let's give some border color also, that we can differentiate it. Border 1 px solid golden hot. 1 pixel is very small, let's give it a big border 5 px. Okay, let me save it. Just we are given the flex and see now what will happen. So Flexbox is arranges all the div level element, which are block level element, into column element. Means it were all in the row, it is going from left to right, and now it has become all have become columns. So this is the power of display flex or Flexbox. And we can see the border is going all across the row, this golden dot border which we have given. So this means the flex, it had whatever the width was for that. See, 1, 2, 3, all of them are of the same width. It is arranged according to that, and 10 is the width is a bit more because it has 2 digits is there, but all this space is left. So all this space is left. So here where another concept comes, which is known as inline flex. Although we don't use this that much inline flex, you will not see this that much in production level project, but it is there. So we have inline flex like this. I will do and see. Now see what will happen. See, now this golden dot box you are seeing, it is this much only. So this is useful in some scenario, but I have not seen this to be used much. Now we learn about flex directions, which is very important. Flex directions is very important. For that, first what we are going to do, first we are going to give a height of 100 vertical height. The height is 100 vertical height. Okay, so if I give 100 vertical height, what happens? It all stretches till the end. And let me make it back to flex. Okay, so I made it back to flex, so it will go all towards the end. Okay, so maybe I should increase the font size a bit more, so it is much more better on the mobiles. Okay, so now there is a property known as flex direction. So we'll see that flex direction, which is flex direction. By default it is row. By default it is row, and flex direction means the main axis is row, and which is left to right, which moves from left to right by default. Okay, so there is another thing known as flex direction, which is column, which means it will move from top the main direction. See, this is one very important concept in Flexbox. The axis, main axis, will keep on changing. So if we make it column, the axis will change from top to bottom. It will go from top to bottom, or in normal case, if you don't give anything, or if we give a flex direction row, it will go like this, left to right, left to right. Okay, so like this is there. Now we will now learn about another thing known as flex wrap. Flex wrap property is also very much used, so let us do that. Okay, so let me remove this column, and let me make the box of width of 300 pixel. Save it. You see, each of them have a width. So but if you will see, let's see this 300 width, it is not 300 width. It is means if even if I make it smaller, it is fitting everything. So what Flex do means, if I have given 300 pixel, but there is not a space for 300 pixel is quite big width. Okay, so it squeezes everything in. Sometimes this feature we don't want this feature like this. So 300 pixel into 10 is 3000 pixel, which is quite a lot, means. So it is not always like that. It means it's quite wide screen. Okay, so what we are going to do, we don't want it like this, and in many cases in production we really don't want it like this. So we want to wrap, we want everything to be 300 width, but we want, if it is not fitting, it should come down. Okay, so the property which we are going to give is flex wrap is wrap. Save it. Okay, so flex wrap is wrap. I will give, see now what will happen. Everything is now 300 pixel, 300 pixel, 300 pixel, 300 pixel, and there was some space left, so it will move to the next, and because of that it is not looking good, that much good. So what we can do means, in such case, even if I make it completely, so it will give more, but since I don't want to give it complete, so let's make it of normal size. Okay, normal size, let me make normal size browser. It will be much better if I do for a normal size browser. Okay, so maybe this much. Okay, so now what I want it not to be 300 pixel, but to be that much that it covers 1/3 of it, means. So each box covers 1/3 of it, so 1/3 of 100 is 33.3333. okay, so let me go back, and width I will make 33.333%. save it. Okay, now come back, see, now it is fixed, now it is looking quite good. Okay, so now let us add some margin between them. I don't want them to be all to be fixed like this, all to be fixed into each other. I don't want it like that, so I will do margin 10px. save it. Now see what happened. Now the third one is not coming, because see, now the problem is that margin is not a part of the box model. So box model I have taught earlier, margin is not part of it. So what is there is a 10 pixel margin here and text 10 pixel margin here. So there is something known as calc in your Flexbox. That calc we have to calculate, and we have to subtract it from there. So let's see how to do this, how to fix this thing. So we'll do calc 33.333 minus 20px in this case, and then because 10 pixel margin left and margin right is 10 pixel 10 pixel. Let me save it. Now everything is fixed again. Okay, now everything is fixed again. Okay, so that is done. Let's move to the next topic. Okay, so for the next topic, what we are going to do, box, let me remove this box and all. I don't want it, this box and all. Display flex, let me remove this. Okay, let me remove this. Okay, so now we learn about a very important property in Flex, which is known as justify content. Justify content. And there is a great place for reference. Let me tell it now only, which is a sort of cheat sheet. And when Flexbox came into picture, this just a link was not this much glamorized and all those things. Now it has become a sort of Bible sort of a thing. So let me show that, and that's a good place. Okay, so that is a if you go here and just type CSS Flexbox, just type this in Google, the first thing which will come is this CSS Trick article only. This is a very popular article actually. So it has got everything. If you want to see everything what is a Flexbox, very good article, and I want everyone to go through this article. Everyone should go through this article. Okay, so flex wrap and all those things are there. Okay, so what we are going to do, we are going to do the justify content. So as it says, this defines the alignment along the main axis, whatever is the main. So main axis in Flexbox is depends on the flex direction, which is by default. If you don't give it is row, so it is left right. But if we change the main flex direction to column, it becomes from top to down. So it is on the main axis. The main thing is there. This is alignment along the main axis. It helps distribute extra free space left over when either all the flex item land in film, whatever, blah 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 blah. Okay, so some of them are there. Okay, so let's do it. It's better to understand it by this. So justify content. Okay, first let me show how it is. So it is, again it is looking like this, but it's better to have a border. So border 5px solid gold, maybe gold this time. Okay, now justify content is flex start. So it has got many property. One of them is the flex start. Okay, without flex start, how it will look? It will look like this, and with flex start also it will look like this, because it is the start. So it defines everything in the main axis, as we have already seen in that article. So flex start will look like this. Then there is something, so we are not seeing any difference. But if we give this flex end, see now what difference. Everything moves to the end of this box. So this is flex, and this kind of things is very important to create your layouts. Mainly the nav bars and all can be created very easily and very good with this thing. So there are three other properties are there. One is space around. Let's start with this space around. This is some of the space is remaining, but space around is like this. Then you will learn about the definitions of this flex between. So flex space between is the used the most, because the last two element are means attached to the end and this, and there whatever it is distributed among them is whatever space is left. So it is like this, and then I think evenly is there. So evenly everything is spaced evenly, and so I have seen the use of flex space between the most. So that is the one which is used the most. Okay, so that is like that. And now yes, I will do. Okay, and we save it. So everything will be smaller. I want it to be smaller. Okay, then and this is okay, and I want it to be flex and okay, flex and is okay, and min height is 100 vertical height. So again, you know what will happen, it will always stretch. It will always stretch. But now I will do flex direction is column. So the direction have become column. Okay, so now see what happened. So flex direction have become column. So now what happened? Now the main axis is from top to down. Top to down is the main axis. So we are actually looking justify content only. It is top to down. So if you give this justify content, so flex end means that it is the end, because now it has changed from top to down. The main axis have become top to down. So now it is at the end. And similar, so we have to visualize it like this. Okay, if we change the flex direction to column, then the main axis changes. Now justify content will be like that, from top to down. Generally it is left to right. So this is very important thing to visualize, and this is something in which people make a lot of mistakes in flex, and that's why sometimes I also prefer CSS Grid over Flexbox, and it has got more features than Flexbox, but both of them are used equally. So there are some use cases where Flexbox is good, but most of the thing is that you can use CSS Grid for almost everything. If you ask me to master one thing, I will say go with Grid. But let's move ahead, and like flex end, let's go make it flex start. Okay, so as you might have guessed, with flex start it will move to the start. Okay, so similarly we have other properties like center will move it to the center. Yeah, it was there also, I think I didn't show. Then space between, and all those other properties are there, and it will behave like the same. The only you have to visualize it top to down. Okay, so this is done. And now we will look into another very important property known as align item. So it always goes hand in hand with justify content. So for align item also we are going to change the base a bit again. So let's make the font size again 100px. Okay, so to display some of the things we need to change these spaces and all. So display flex is there, border is there, and min height, I don't need height and min height. I think you know the difference by now. And space between also I don't need, and flex direction I don't need. Means the align item is actually on the cross axis. It is just opposite to justify content. If justify content is on the main axis left to right, so in a normal case if I don't give flex direction, the cross axis become top to down. So there are two axes in Flexbox. I didn't tell about that axis first. So the main axis is from left to right. If you don't give flex direction and all, flex direction sort of changes the polarity. Okay, so and the cross axis is from top to bottom. Okay, now what will happen? Now by default it is align item is stretch, means whatever it is coming right now, it is like this. So let me do align items is stretch. Okay, so nothing will be changed. Okay, so now it has also got the same properties, means align item is, let me do now flex start. Okay, flex start, see everything moves to the start. Flex end, everything moves to the end. Then similarly we have center, it will be center, and like all those things will be again be there, and all those things like space around and all those things will be space around. I think no space around is not there, my bad. Okay, it is only till center. Okay, because how a space around will be there, it is because it is top to down. So we are moving either it all to the top, either to down, or to the center. So this all are there in the line item. Okay, so now this completes our part 1 of our Flexbox, and before we move to the part 2 of the Flex, it's not a very big topic, and we will complete it in 2 units. So before moving to part 2 of the Flexbox, I want you people to learn Flexbox a bit more. And how to learn Flexbox a bit more? Actually, Flexbox and Grid are considered to be a bit difficult concepts. Means I told it is easy, but sometimes people miss whatever I told it. It is very difficult. So there are two ways to master Flexbox or Grid. For that case, one is to create website using it. Okay, you get a layout. Just there are very good websites I will give after some time, in which you will get the layout for free, which is generally made by designers. Get a layout for free and you just make it through Flexbox. Use your imagination and make it through Flexbox. And the other way, the second way, is to learn through some game. Yeah, there are some very good game I will show, like, and you have to play that game. So the best game in Flexbox is known as Flexbox Zombie. There are other games also, but I highly recommend this game, Flexbox Zombies. And I have not completed Flexbox yet. I have completed actually 3 topics. So if I go here, I have completed the main part of Flexbox, and they are, so you log in here and then you 1 2 3, these 3 you have to do: flex direction, justify content, align items. And you learn a lot in this. Means this is quite big. Some other content we are going to do later on, and if you complete this whole game, you will become a master in Flexbox, and then you apply that knowledge to websites. Then you will be, means, super focused. Then you have to make those websites every now and then, okay, or else you will keep on forgetting. So if I go here to the it is loading, let it get load. Okay, so flex direction, see, like the chapter 1, and this is it has got a very good story kind of a thing. And make sure the volume is also there, so some good story lineup is also there and all those things. Let me go next and next and next. So you can read the story is also very good actually in this. So the crossbow is the best weapon. So we have LCD screen, that is very interesting. Go ahead and you have to write display flex. So it is showing that flex, this is because of flex direction setting is row. So it is all same. Tell me, the music is also quite nice. Okay, so now flex direction, yeah, there is something known as row reverse also. I didn't told that much, but it is similar to row but the reverse. So you will learn a bit more also in this row reverse, because I want to teach everything which is means very much required. So as I told, row is left to right, row reverse is right to left. So then I go to next level. So like, see, now it is flex direction is column. So like this, flex direction is column. So it is from top to down. So it is like very good, like column reverse is also there. So flex direction is column reverse. So like this you have to complete it. So I'm not completed anymore. This is a very addictive game. And this is, we have some basic codes again. So under day 2, this is a different code. So again, box 1 and 2 10 are there, similar to day 1. And we have a style sheet attached. Let's go to the style sheet. The style sheet is, box color is white, font size is 100 pixel, and all the boxes are there of different color. And display is flex, and like this, height is 100 vertical height, and width is 33.33%. so because of that we are seeing this width. Okay, so that's, after that, what we are going to learn today, we are going to learn something known as align content today. Okay. Align content. So what is align content? So again, our best resource is this. As I have told on day 1 also, this is our best resource. So let's come to align items and justify content we have seen. So now we will see what is align content. Okay, this aligns a flexbox line within when there is an extra space in the cross axis. Okay, in the cross axis. So means by default the cross axis is top to down. So by default top to down, if there is some extra space, then only it kicks. Okay, justifies content aligns item within the main axis and align content within the cross axis, but only when there is an extra space. Okay, so it is different than what we have learned earlier, which is align items. Align items also do on the cross axis, but it is not like that. And if you want to check more about align items, check the previous videos again. And one thing I forgot to ask, hope you have completed your Flexbox Zombies first 3 exam. It is very important to complete the first 3 chapters so that you can get a better grip on Flexbox, which is the main thing in today's. Most of the people I know uses Flexbox only because it has got a little concept, small concept than CSS Grid. Okay, so let's get started again. So this is there, and then align content we are going to do, but for that, let me increase the font size a bit so that it is good on the, if someone is viewing on the mobile, it is good there also. So we will do that flex wrap property again. Wrap. Okay, flex wrap is there, and if you do flex wrap, let's see what happens. Yeah, it will be like this because it is not fitting. Align content is, again it will have flex start. If I do save it, see everything moves to the start, flex start. So this is still here, so flex end, so there was extra space, so everything moved to the start. Similarly, flex end will be there, everything moved to the end. Okay, so similarly, as you might have guessed, center will be there, center is there, so everything moved to the center. So like this. Here space between is also there, space between, space around, space evenly, so all of them are there. So this completes our align content. Now we will see the individual flex properties. So what we have seen till now, it's the parent flex property, what we were always applying on the container and all. Okay, the main flex properties were applied on the container. So there are some flex properties which can be applied on the children also, so we will look into that. Okay, for that, first the property which we are going to look is known as align self. Okay, align self, or to do the basic setup, I don't want flex wrap again, it is okay. Align items, I want items, and I want it to be flex start. Okay, flex start. Okay, so if I go back, it will be like this. Okay, align items is flex start. Height, it doesn't matter because it has got to start. Align item is on the top to bottom, so flex start has been done. Now what I'm going to do is some of the boxes. So box 2, padding bottom 200 pixel. Similarly, let me make for 2-3 boxes. Box 4, 20 pixel. Box 8, 300 pixel. Let me save it. So see what will happen now. The padding bottom has been increased. So see, this is 20 pixel, this is 200, this is 300. So the padding bottom has been increased. Okay, so now what I am telling, align self we are going to see. So align self means the individual we can give. Okay, so like I only want to move this individually on the cross axis. So align self is flex and align self is flex start, align self is center. Okay, so now let's see all these are moving now. Okay, so this is what is about align self. So let us move ahead. Now we'll see the flex item property of flex. It is known as flex. Actually, it is a combination of flex row, flex string and flex basis, which we are going to see. So I have changed the setup also a bit. This flex was basic 3. All of this course will be in the GitHub link, okay, below the video. So this is there, box 1, 2, 3, 4. I have added some emojis also, and the background color is again like this. Font size is 50px, padding is there, and just display flex I have done. Starting with the live server, it will show like this 1 2 3 4 5 6, and the emojis are there. So this is the basic setup. So now what is this? Actually, what is this? Flex. Just learn a bit. This is shorthand for flex row, flex string and flex basics. The second and third parameter are optional, so 0 whatever it is there. Okay, it is recommended that we use shorthand rather than the individual property. So what does that mean? So it actually decides how the free space, if there is any free space, will be distributed. Like if you give flex 1, the free space will be distributed among all of the things, all of the items. Like see, now there is a lot of free spaces are there. So if I give flex 1, it will be distributed among all of them. So there is a little bit of space is remaining, so it means, so I will come here, dot box flex 1, I'll do, and see, the space is distributed equally among all of them, whatever the space was left there. So this is a very important property. Okay, so similarly what we are going to do, so see, box 1 has 1 flex. If I go give something as a flex of 2, so it will have the twice of a space, whatever the free space is there, so it will distribute that free space. So it will distribute twice the space than the other. Okay, in the, if I give something as 2, so box is a complete everything. Now I will give some individual property also, like dot box 2. Sometimes this intelligent thing, this flex of 2, if I give, now see what will happen. See the second one, you're seeing there is more space in there. Actually it is twice the free space which is there. So this is again a very important thing. When we will do some practical examples, creating some layouts and all, you'll see the magic of it. Okay, so like that it is there. Now So as it is as you know, it is advisable to use it like this only, and so we will learn like this only, and it is better to leave it like this. Means we can go individually also, but it is good to leave it like this only, because this is the main use cases, and I don't want to teach the things which are not required, which we are not going to use that much in production will use this code. So this is the main thing, and this is the ending of our Flexbox course. Flexbox, after this we'll go to CSS Grid, and the code and the links are all in the below, but there is one assignment which is left, and you know what is the assignment, and it is known as Flexbox Zombies. Yeah, our favorite zombie game. So this all you have to do. Now this is the assignment. You do all these things, and course we are going to cover CSS Grid, which is even latest than the Flexbox and sometimes even more powerful than that. And with the combination of Flexbox and CSS Grid, you never need Bootstrap again, Bootstrap or any other thing. Once you master any one of them, and I will say master both of them, somewhere Flexbox is required. Flexbox is much easier and much lesser powerful, but Grid have many other properties also, and this course will be also a bit more than the Flexbox, which we completed quite soon. But this, because it has got some additional advanced feature also, and if you don't want to learn the advanced feature, you should learn at least the basic features, because it is sometimes more powerful than Flexbox. And once you begin understanding CSS Grid, you won't even require Flexbox. Flexbox will become optional, and CSS Grid is quite newer. I think it was done around 2015, and it became hugely popular after that. So let's get started. So again, the best article is this, a complete guide to CSS Grid. You just type CSS Grid like this. I have typed CSS Grid, and the second article is this. W3 school, don't go to that, go to CSS Tricks article, and it is again a very popular article. It has got everything, means quick, this is like a quick reference guide, and you can quickly reference, and CSS Grid is a bit more than Flexbox is. So let's get started. So while getting started, so this is, I have created an index.html and one styles.css. okay, so just an HTML file, and have a container with item, class name item, and 1 to 10 is there. Okay, so let me open it with live server. If I open it with live, actually I don't want to open it here, I want to open it in Firefox Developer Edition. So you also know this on Firefox Developer Edition, you have to run this, because it has got some inbuilt tools which is not there in any other Firefox Developer Edition. This is not normal Firefox, this is Firefox Developer Edition. It has got a special tool which we are soon going to use. When you right click and open the tools, it has got a CSS Grid tool which is there, which is not there in any other browser. Okay, so item 1 and on. Okay, so one more thing which I have done actually is given the basic CSS. Actually we are not going to learn from this. The basic CSS means the root and all have changes. This is just the color I have changing, and HTML, some box sizing, border box and all are there, and some text shadow is there, and the body I have given a nice linear gradient. Min height is also done, margin is there, background attachment, and some h1 h2 are done. And this, each item in a grid will contain a number. We center the content of this item. You can do this with Flexbox too, as it is written. We are just centering the content. You don't need to understand this right now, because we are soon going there. Means we are just centering the content. Don't need to understand what is justify content, what is align items right now. This is different or a bit similar to what we have in Flexbox, but grid concept is a bit different, which you will soon learn, and this is there. So our code will mainly start after this main code. So it is been shown like this, the basic. Okay, so let's get started. And again, it is applied at the parent level, like the container is there. Okay, so container, I will come here and dot container, which is okay, dot container display is grid, and let me save it, come back. Nothing is happening. Why? Because it is not like Flexbox that everything will be done. It require another thing, which is grid template column or grid template row. So most of the time we will use grid template column, something known as grid template column. There is shortcut in VS Code also. I will try GTC and press tab, it will do. I don't want the repeat. So the property is grid template columns, and you give the columns in this. So see, by default there are this 10 are there. We will define two column, one of 200 pixel and the another of 500 pixel. So I'll do 200 px and 500 px. See what will happen. Two columns have been created. One is of 200 px and this is 200 px, and this is of 500 px, and all everything else are been fitted into this. Okay, so like grid template column. So one column is this and one column is grid template column. There is something known as grid template rows. So let us come to that. GTR grid template rows. Again, we don't want this repeat. We'll learn about this later on. Grid template rows. So now we are creating the rows: 200 px, 100 px, 300 px. Okay, grid template rows. See what it is done. One row is of 200 px, one row is of 100 px, and one row is of 300 px. Then actually these two rows are extra, so nothing was taken for them. They're like normal, because we only given the rule for 3 rows. So these threes are been done: 200, 100 and 200, 100 and 300. Okay, so let us give some gap also in between each of them, and for that we have a property known as, I think, gap. Yeah, see, grid gap. Earlier it was called grid gap. Now it is called gap of 5px. So gap of 5px, it means it will give the gap at both, means so here also, bottom also, right, and all the 4 places it will give gap. So we can see only 2 or 3 places of 5 pixel, and this is how nice is looking, only with 3-4 lines of code. This is much more, as I was telling, this is much more powerful than Flexbox for that also. So okay, so now we will look into something known as implicit tracks and explicit tracks. Okay, so what are implicit tracks and explicit tracks? Let us look into them. And as I told you, we can look into implicit track and explicit track only in Firefox Developer Edition, and this is not the normal Firefox, and definitely not Chrome. So right click, inspect. So if you don't have, download it, inspect, and see it is giving me the grid layout. So this option is not there in any other browser. So this is grid. So we did this one as grid, so don't go about this. Click here. So this one is grid. Okay, and all the properties are there. So I have to do this, and let me click this to black, and div container also I will do. So now if you can see, there are lines are there, and there are actually 2 type of lines. So if you see, these are the dash, these are known as explicit tracks. Okay, and this is known as implicit tracks. As we have seen in the seen earlier, what happened means this where when we gave it in that grid template row, this was not there because we have only 3 rows. So there the implicit tracks are being done, and this is explicit tracks. If I zoom it a bit, not this. See this dash things are there. See this dot 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 is there. So now you got it what it is. Okay. Okay. So these are implicit and explicit. Let me revert it back. Okay, so there is some other property is also there, which is known as suppose this were created implicitly, means because there was nothing, whatever the space it was there, it created. But suppose I want it grid template row I have given. Okay, this grid template row I have given, so 200, 100, 300. After that also, if some rows are formed, then what I will do, then I want to have them for 150 px. So what I will do, grid auto rows 150 px, save it, and these two are now 150 px. Okay, these two are now, see, they are bigger, so they are 150 px. So this is known as grid auto rows. Okay. Okay. Now we will look into something known as grid autoflow, and it's better to understand it through the code. So for that, what I'm going to do, I am going to have only 2. So I'm commenting it out, so because I'm going to push it into GitHub. Okay, so only 2 rows will be there, and then let me come back here and grid rows I don't want, and this all I don't want. Okay, grid template column, let have it, one is for 400 and another is for 200 px. Okay, so if I save it, if I come back here, see what is happening, 400 pixel and 200 pixel, and suppose I add the third one. So now what will happen, third one will by default go to the next. So this we have seen earlier also, third one will go to the next row. So how to and if you want it in the same row, what to do? So this is what we will do, means grid auto flow, grid auto flow is column. Okay, let me do that. Let me now go back. See, now it has come to the next because we had made it to column. So even this one is more than 400 pixel, it took the whole space which is remaining. So this is known as grid auto flow. So we come to an end of the part 1. So as I have told, grid is a bit larger, so we'll soon have other parts, and as a part of the assignment, again I will give some game. See, we'll do the projects later on. First, with the help of their very good games for CSS Grid also. So, and the game is known as CSS Grid Garden game. So you need to play this game. This is again a very good game, and it's got many levels. So first complete whatever I have taught till now, do that. So basic 2-3 levels. We are going to start with this sort of blank only, and what we have here again, this is the new file. Everything will be there in the GitHub, and 15 items are there. and styles are common, just like in part 1 the styles are common. Okay, so now we will start and dot container is there, container, and display is grid, and gap is 20 px. And what we are going to do here, we are going to learn about sizing of tracks in CSS. Okay, so sizing of tracks, so with a grid gap it is 20 px. I think 10 px is much better. Yeah, 10 px is much better. Okay, so to size a column, what we need to do, so like GTC grid template column, let us try to size it by percentage, the normal way. 25, suppose I want 4 columns, 25%, 25%, 25%, and 25%. Let me save it, go back, see everything is, but something is wrong. See here the size is less, here the size is more, and if I make it a bit less, see what is happening. So it is not perfect. Here the size is more, so it is not perfect. Percentage is never perfect for a CSS grid. So what we are now going to do, we are going to use something in CSS grid known as FR. FR means free space. So to understand this basic CSS layout, first what we will do, we will have a border. So GTC let us take one of 200 px and one of 150 px. Okay, and border 1 px solid black, 1 px is very small, let it be 5 px. Save it. See, this has been formed. One is 200 px and one is 150 px. Okay, so now if I add, so there is lot of empty space here. If I add one FR to it, what will happen? One FR means one free space. So whatever space is left, the third one will go there. Whatever space is left, as it is known as free space. So whatever space is left, it will go there and it will show like this. So what if I make 2 FR? 2 FR means after 200 pixel and 150 pixel there will 2 more columns. One will have 1 FR free space and another will have twice the space of it, twice. So this is more than 150 px. So after 200 pixel and 100 pixel, this much space was left. So 2/3 was taken by it and 1/3 was taken by it. So it is like that. Okay, so after that there is something known as auto also. What is auto? So it takes the size of the whatever the element it is there. So element means, see, 1 is the element, 4 is the element, 7. So whatever the size of it, it will take according to that. Okay, so but one thing you should notice, see, this 10 is larger and everything is taken according to it. So let's check one more thing. Let's check this concept only again. So if I go here and instead of what is it, 1 4 7 10, okay, so I have to change 4. Nabindu, the web dev, my company, the web dev, and see. So the rest of the column is adjust according to this. Nabindu, the web dev. See, this is the largest one. So all of them 1 7 10 13 adjust according to that. Okay, so the next thing we will understand is the repeat. Whenever I was creating by itself, there was something as a repeat was coming. So we will understand repeat. Okay, so let us change it back. Okay. Oh, okay, so we'll come here, and suppose auto is there, then like this is there, 1 FR, 1 FR and 2 FR. So 1 FR, 2 1 FR and 1 2 FR is there. But see, I'm seeing that 1 FR 1 FR is getting repeated. So what I can do, I can repeat 2 times of 1 FR. Save it. See, same thing. Means it is a form of writing the things. Means we cannot, means 2 times 1 FR will be repeated. And what does this means? Means auto. Let me remove this 2 FR. So 1 FR, 2 FR. If I save this, pause the video and think what will happen. Okay, so you might have guessed what will happen. Let's see what will happen. It means 1 FR, 2 FR, 1 FR, 2 FR. 2 times repeat this thing, 1 FR, 2 FR, 1 FR, 2 FR, 1 FR, 2 FR. So it means that. Okay, so this completes this sizing tracks. So now we will look into sizing grid items. I have changed the code a bit, means now it has got more, around 30 items are there, and like the container have this GTC of repeat 5 of 1 FR, and the item 9 background is different, and width, I have given the width a bit more because of that it is extending. Okay, so this is one way to extend it, the width. Okay, but we don't need to do it like this. We have something known as span, with which we can expand the width. So we will write grid column, and it is span of 2. Save it. See, the same thing, it has got the span of 2. See, now 4 and 5 were there, so it took both of the space, span of 2, but it has shifted the item 10 below. Okay, so now similarly we can add grid row property also, like grid row of span of 2. So now see, the row is also been done like this, the row is also been done. So this is a very powerful concept actually. Row is also done. Now we'll look into placing grid items. So the grid column is actually a shorthand property. We can divide it into grid column start and grid column end. So we will do that. So let's remove the row, and grid column we can use it like this also. Start with the second one. Similarly, grid column end, and end at the 6th one. Save it. Okay, spell mistake. Save it, and it is like this. So okay, let's do one thing. Why to do this? Let's do it in the some other thing. Let it be there. So you can refer the code. Let me do it in some other dot item 16 background hash this is looking pretty good. So let me make this, and grid column start is the second one, not a span, it is automatically taking, and grid column, and is, let it be 6. Save it. Now see it, pink is not looking good actually, it is merging with the background. So let me think of something else. Green, how is a green yellow? Okay, so it is starting from the second one, this is the second one, and ending to the end. If you want to see one thing, let me do this, and the numbers are also there. So the number is like 1 2, so 2 will start from here and 6 is there. Okay, let me open it only. It will start from here and 6 will end here. Okay, so it is like this, and then okay, so there is another way to do the same, so let us do that. Let me do it like this, and grid, column, 2 to 6, grid column 2 to 6 is there, so it will start from 2 and end at 6. Same thing, nothing will be changed. And the other thing is, let me comment out this also, grid column 2 span 4. So this is the other way, same thing will happen again. Okay, so there is another concept which I want to tell. Suppose a item want to expand the whole row, so how to do that? So that we will see in dot item 17, background is sienna, grid column is 1 minus 1. Save it. Item spelling is wrong. Now see, it is spanning from 1 to end. Okay, so one more thing, item, why I is not coming, item 18, background is spring green, this is a good background, and grid column is 1 slash minus 2. So what is minus 2? Means 1 from the end, so it is going till this, so 1 from the end is minus 2. So let us do one more, so we can mix a lot of things. So like dot item 20, background is linen, grid column is 1 slash minus 3, and grid row is 8 comma 10. So both of them are we are doing. So item number 20, see item 20, so we are going up and down, both we are going up and down. So this is it. So this complete part 2 of our CSS grid. So again I will insist you go through this guide, and there is everything here. You go through this is a short guide. Even if you don't have time, you go through it 2-3 times, you will get the difference. And the main thing you will learn once you create some website, so then you can refer it. because some of the concepts are like that. So grid, column, and all those are there. And please play. So this is the basic. Again, the style.css is the basic, and index.html we now have 12 items. This is again a different repo. And what we are going to learn now, we are going to learn about autofill and autofit property in this now. So let's get started with that. So is it running? Yeah, it is running. I don't want it here because it is not possible for that grid item. Okay, so it is running and it is showing like this. So let's get started. So let's style.css dot container displays grid, cap is 10px, and border is 10px solid black, and GTC grid template column. In the next line I have to do GTC. Let the repeat be there, and autofill we will do. So autofill is generally used with the repeat function, so we'll do autofill. We are giving autofill instead of a number. Actually, instead of a number we are giving, so, and then we are giving 150px. So it will try to fit the 150px, is that to fill the row for 150px each. You don't have to give any number or something like that, like 2, 3, 4. It will adjust, it will check on itself what is the fitting ratio. So 150px, 150px. The last one was not able to fit, so it came to the next line. So this is known as autofill, and this is very responsive. If I move it like this, this will be responsive, and even in a 2-column layout it will be responsive. Okay, so this is very responsive. Now autofit is similar to autofill, but to see the difference we need to reduce the number of items here. I reduce it to 4, and let's do it, save it. Okay, autofill in 150px is there, so it will look like this. Let me also inspect container. So see, the dark line shows that the grid start and the end. See, this dark line and this dark line show the grid start and the end. This is for auto fill. So now let me change it to auto fit. See now where the black line is ending, where the grid item is ending. So auto fit is this. So why we have 3 items? Okay, let have 4 items actually. Okay, the similar means auto fit, it ends here. Okay, so after that let's add, and let do one thing. This item 4 is there, we will take it to the end in auto fit. So for that item 4 grid column and is -1. So nothing will happen because this itself was the ending. So why something will happen? This itself was the ending, so nothing will happen. But now change the same to fill and see the magic. So now it moved to the end. Why? Because the grid was ending here, so now it moved to the end, and this is a very good way to group the menus actually. Okay, so this is the difference between autofill and auto fit. So there is another concept known as min-max. So min-max along with autofill is a very powerful concept in Grid, and this is very powerful because with very less queries you can make a site very responsive without using media queries and all. Generally we use media queries for different screen sizes, but we don't even have to use that if we use this. So let us do that. Let's do one thing here. Let it be like that. Why to paste this? Let's take 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's cut it from here and dot min max container. So like this, and inside this 5 items will be there. And now, so anyways, these are like this. Okay, come down, dot this, displays grid gap is 10px and border is 10px solid medium blue, and GTC repeat is there, auto fill 100 px is there. Save it. But one more thing I wanted to change. Instead of item 6, let's make the item 6 a bit bigger, and let's make it goodbye. So let's go there. Again I have made the same mistake, I think. Yep, I made the same mistake. See, the goodbye is extending, means it is going beyond, because I made only 100 px, and 100 px it is not containing in that 100 px. Okay, so what's the solution? The solution is something known as min-max. So autofill will be there, but in some cases the 100 px is not containing it. So I will do min-max of maybe 150 px will contain 150 px, comma 1 fr. I see that 150 px is required in that case, so 150 px comma 1 fr. So now see, this is 150 px and rest of them are 1 fr, whatever it is, and it was also going the next line, which was not right. So this is now perfect. So now this is the power of min-max. Okay, and another thing is there. Now even it is, if it is responsive, see, it is going according to this. Minimum it is 150 px, or it is very much responsive. Minimum it is 150 px or 1 fr. So this is very much responsive. Okay, so this is how responsiveness comes. So in the desktop view, if you can see the items, there are a lot of space on the empty space on the side. See, this empty space I'm talking about, this empty space. So we can fix this problem by the auto fit property, not auto fill, but the auto fit. So let us change it to auto fit. So it's got fill, everything got fill. Okay, And so this is much better in some cases, this auto fit property, and our desktop view is also fixed and it is looking perfect. This one, second one, is looking perfect. To learn about CSS alignment and just like justify content and all those things we had learned in the Flexbox, they're there in Grid also. But in Grid, what is there is no flex direction is there, so the axis doesn't change. So justify is always from the left to right, and align is always from top to down. So that is one of the main differences. So let's get started. Okay, so yeah, so this is the setup. Okay, I don't want it here because, as you know, Grid doesn't works well there. Okay, let it be opened only. So what I have here, right, this is again a different code. I have around 40 items are there. The main code is like that only, and these are the things which we are going to learn. So I just commented them out. Justify item, align item, justify content, align self, justify self, and justify is row access, and align is column access. Okay, so like that. And then the container is display grid gap we have taken a lot, and grid template column 10 in 1 and 1 fr, 10 times 1 fr, so means 10 will be there in 1. So see, 10 40 are there, so it is showing like this. So the first thing which we are going to do is a justify item. So let's do it. So justify item aligns along the row axis. So justify items, start, save it. So if you can see everything, so this everything moved there is a column for this, everything moved to the start of it. Okay, so it is very difficult to see. So let me do one more thing. ITM is the common thing, and the background will be white. So now you can see it actually moved to the start of it. So it is start, similarly center, and end of this box, and the last property is stretch, and see it is stretched. Now we look into align items, which is for the aligning the grid items in the column axis. Okay, so we'll do that, and grid template column is right, but we need GTC also, GTR, grid template row, and repeat 5 of 100 px, and background is white. So a bigger one will be created. Okay, we don't want justify item to be stretched. Let justify item be end. We are seeing align item, but justify item should also be there, so it should be it is at the end like this, and it is showing like this. Okay, so now we'll start with the align items. So align items will start. Something is not right. Okay, oh yeah, again the same mistake. I don't know why I make the same mistake again and again. See, repeat again doesn't have it. That's why I was thinking it is a box. It is kind of a box. Okay, justify items is end, and now we'll do align items is start, because now we want to look it in the column axis. So see, now it is end because of justify items, it is end, but it is at the start because of align item, and now again it will start moving. Okay, so now see closely, start, end. See, it moved here in the box, center, move the center, and stretch is by default, stretch is there, so stretch I have to do, and it will stretch it. So this is align items. Now we'll look into one of the very important trick with the justify item and align items. Okay, so suppose I do it center and center. See, it is at the center. This is a very important property which is used as a lot of places to center items. In fact, we are using this in our code also. If I go up, justify content and align item center, we are using. So with justify item also I can use it, it doesn't matter. Okay, so this is one of the tricks, justify item and align item center. Okay, so the next thing is that which we are going to see is the justify content and align content. And similar to Flexbox, they comes into picture when the total size of the grid is less than the size of the container. So whole container is the grid size is less than that, it will move the whole thing according to that. So for that, let us change it a bit. Okay, 5, repeat it, let's have a border also, border 5px solid black. Okay, 5px solid black, 5 and 100px, 5 and 100px, stretch, save it. Now go back. See, a box is made because it is stretched at both the places, it is stretched, and the white box will be made because of that. Now we will look into justify content. Okay, one more thing. We need to do, actually we need to do one more thing here. So we don't want all of them, means see, a lot of them are there. Okay, so we don't need all of them. So what to do, let's only take 15 is there. So 15 is more than enough, because we, as I told, the container size should be less. Okay, so let's move ahead and do our justify content. Justify content is start, nothing will change, and see, it has moved here. In the end, it has moved here. Then center, remove at the center, stretch, nothing. But here there are 3 other properties are also there, which is space around. So it is distributed just like in Flexbox, space around, space between, and space evenly, space evenly. So these 3 are there in the justify content. Now we will do for align content. For that we need to do a bit more changes. We don't even want this much, we want only 10 items. Okay, only 10 items we want. And in the container grid cap, border is okay, but I want a height of 500 px. Border is there, grid is okay. I don't want the row because I have already taken the height. Stress is there. Justify content, let me make it space between. Now let's see how it is look. It's looking like this. Okay, so now okay, it's looking like this. And now we will do for align content. Align content start. See, everything moved to the start. Okay, by default it was stretch. Align content start is there, then align content end is there. It will move down. It was for justify content, it is moving left to right, it is moving top to down. And center, stretch. So stretch, it was like this initially. If you don't give anything, it is a stretch. A space around, top to down, space between. So there less space between is this, and a space evenly is this. So we are done with the align content. Okay, so now we will look at an individual property of justify self. So it is exactly equivalent to justify content, but it is meant for only one item. So what we will do, we will make it also between, and item is right. Let's make item ITM8 background yellow and justify self start. Okay, so if I go back, it has moved to the start, it is okay, but actually let me have some more. It's not looking good. It is also difficult to understand. Let me again have it like this. So now it has moved to the starting. So now see, it has everything else is means stretch and all, means justify content is a space between. So but justify self is start, so it is moved to the start. So similarly it will have other properties, and it will be end, so it will move to the end. It will be stretch, so it will be stretch. It will be center, and it will be center. So this completes our justify self. Now we will look into align self. So align self is again a bit equivalent to your like justify self. So but align self is for one item, and it is for the column axis. So we'll look into align self now. A little bit changes we need to do, and the changes is, now let's have it till 20. Now we will have it till 20. Save it. Okay, and this is okay, this is okay. Oh, and we need some GTR grid template row. Repeat, I don't want repeat. One FR 1FR, 300 px, 1FR. So 4 rows I needed, and this all are okay. Item 8 is okay. Let me go back, and this is item 8. Stretch it is showing like this. Now I will do align. So let us choose another item, ITM 14. Background is pink. Align self is start. So see, base 14. So align self is within the same thing, within the same container. You see align self is moved to here, start, end, center, and stretch. So this is it. Stretch is completing the everything is stretching it. So this actually completes our CSS Grid course, and with this we complete the complete CSS Flexbox and the CSS Grid course.